Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been a while, so I just wanted to welcome you back to Kats Creations on Friday night at 5 o'clock. We're here on the West Coast where tonight I'm going to be teaching you two different types of Loopy Candy Cane Wreaths. One of them I started last year, but because there was such a huge supply shortage, I was unable to complete it and I was unable to share it with you. And then the other one, I'm going to kind of show you a little variation that you can do with the Dollar Tree flex tubing or just extra flex tubing that you have around. So there's a lot of people who have asked, how do you go about making the candy cane wreath? So that's what we're going to be making tonight. So a couple things before we start. Number one, like I said, welcome back. I know it's been a while. We've had an awful lot on our plate, literally for the last 3 weeks. So, I know we kind of filled you guys in a little bit as to what was happening. Do you want to share or do you not want to share?
Yeah, just to let you guys know, my mom passed away last Saturday. So that's kind of what we've been dealing with. She passed away on her terms and no pain. And she basically, slept the last couple of days, woke up here and there, but she was in no pain. And when she passed with no pain, so that was great.
Yeah, so that's what we've been handling is the 2 weeks before, not knowing when, and then the week of, and then just dealing with everything, as you guys know, that involves all the stuff and closing accounts and all of that stuff. So it's been a hectic week. So welcome back and thank you for joining me. Supplies you will need, whatever flex tubing that you want to use on your design. We're using the Dollar Tree candy cane form, and I want to say, let me give you the measurements on this one. I want to say it is roughly about 20 inches, 20 and a half, somewhere around there. It just depends on if you're measuring from where I would be, the arc, the tallest, most point of the candy cane, all the way down to the tip, and then width-wise, hold on a second, it is about 11 inches. So, and I say 11 inches, meaning from the tip to the farthest out part, or outermost part of the frame. And then, of course, when you add your flex tube loops, it's going to not only make it longer, but it's also going to be wider. So you're going to have to calculate your box dimensions to account for that, and I will give you the final dimensions depending upon which method you choose to do. If you like this video and you want to replicate it and you want to remember the instructions or how many go in each section, the easiest thing to do is to share it. Share it to your page, that way it's easy for you to find. So feel free to share. Like this video, obviously, if you like it. YouTube subscribers, it's been a long time, and unfortunately I haven't been able to communicate directly with you, so I apologize for being gone without absence, but all the items that we're using tonight will be found in the description box below this video, and this was of a Facebook Live earlier today on Friday, September the 11th. So, anything else?
And Friday, September the 11th, may we never forget.
Right. There's one other thing. If you're new and this is your first time joining me, welcome. I've been doing this over 3 years now. This is going on to my 4th year, so I'm super, super excited that you guys get to join me, and I'm looking forward to getting back into the swing of what's considered normal. So, do you have people joining us from in the great beyond?
Yeah, we already have 140, so I'm not going to go through them all. Just welcome all, welcome all, and thank you so much for your prayers and wishes.
Right. Okay, so I kind of gave you guys a little bit of a sneak peek, and I'll show you what it looks like so you can kind of see where we're going with this. So, the Loopy wreaths, right? People came out with them last year in the fall, and it was a way to finally figure out a way to take flex tubing and turn that into a design. And if you use Dollar Tree Deco mesh, you get about 12 yards. And thankfully, Dollar Tree has switched back to their old formula of Deco mesh, which meant that during 4th of July, they did much smaller amounts, and the diameter of the Deco mesh was much thinner. And it seems like they've gone back to the normal stuff that we're used to or maybe they're just using up inventory in their warehouse and we're just now getting it, which makes us super happy. So anyway, what I chose to do in this particular design, thinking I would have more than enough, the fluffy, they call it snowdrift flex tubing mesh, you don't get an awful lot of it. And the only places you're going to be able to find the snowdrift are through online retailers like Craft Outlet, Thurry Shop, Deco Exchange, Trendy Tree, and the like. And you will need 2 full bags. Now, each bag is $11 a piece. So just the white flex tubing alone is $22, but it sure looks super nice. So I wanted to do something that would replicate the candy cane actual stripes at a flex tubing. So this is my variation, and this is as far as I got last year with 1 bag of flex tubing, and then I just used the regular Dollar Tree Deco mesh, and I'm going to show you how we're going to finish this one, put it together. But before we do that, the one on the back is just made with regular Dollar Tree flex tubing. Because Dollar Tree for Christmas will come out with reds, greens, golds, and silvers. You can do any type of variation you want. You can do it on the regular standard round 14-inch frame. You'll just have to keep a calculation of about how many you'll need in each section. And because if you look at the candy cane form, they're all different sizes. So you can't get down to a specific number in each section because it's going to change. You're going to have more here, less here, a little bit more here, and a little bit more on the ends because you need them to kind of cover the end. So this one on the back took me 10 packages of 5 green and 5 red, and then what you're going to want to do, because they'll basically come in a package like this, you'll get 2 green packages, 1 red package, open them up, hold the tip of your flex tubing like so, and then you're gonna make your bundles using 3 all together. It just makes the process go so much quicker rather than take 1 and then make all your loops and then get another one, make all your loops, another one, get all the loops, and kind of smush them all together. Why not just do 3 at the same time? So let me show you how we created this one and how we started, and then I will show you the variation for the snowdrift candy cane, and then I already have all the bundles already built, so I'm going to show you how we tied them on and how we finished that because it's a little bit different. So I'm going to do this with green and 2 silvers. So I'm just going to open these up and show you how to get going. So you'll just need your Deco tubing and pipe cleaners. I preferred to leave them the full 12 inches. You could cut them in half. It depends on if you want them long enough to be able to attach the little glitter balls to. If you have no intention at all on using the glitter ball, then go ahead and cut them in half, and I'll show you how to fasten them on. Any questions though before we start?
No, just everybody saying glad we're back, prayers and well wishes. So thank you, gals. Thank you all.
It's like family, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So what you want to do is take your ends. I just find it easier to take your Deco mesh tubing and just kind of plop it on the floor. So depending on your variation, like if you're going to do silver and green, kind of like a peppermint, like a spearmint stick, do 2 silver and 1 green, and you're going to do, I'm trying to think of approximately how many. What I would do is just go through and figure out however many you're going to be able to get, because your loops might be a different size than mine. But on the next bunch, once you finish this, the next bunch, go through and add 2 green and 1 silver. And then that way it kind of evens it out. So what you're going to do is start with 2-inch tails. So they're roughly about 2 inches. And then you're going to make 2-inch loops, which if we spread this out, mine are more like 3-inch loops. So you're just going to go like this. You're going to flip it backwards. You're going to flip it one more time. And then I let the tails go as long as the loops do. And then I just cut them off. And then you're going to get your pipe cleaner and you're just going to twist your little bundles. Now, if you notice, one side of your bundle has twice as many loops as the other side. So as you're getting ready to start putting them on, you want to alternate 2 loops on one side versus a single loop on the other side. That way, by the time you finish, you don't have one side looking extra heavy and the other side looking a little on the thin side. So you're gonna do this until you exhaust, because this is what Steve and I did right before the live. We finished this one. We did this with, what did we say, 10 packages? So it was like, we had some, like we have a lot of the green left over. So let me do a quick bundle with the green, because I have some of my green left over from my red. So that would be like 1 whole package, and then you're gonna go 2 green, 1 silver, and do the same thing. Okay, just like that. Snip them.
So it's 2 loops on one side and 1 loop on the other.
Yeah, so you just kind of go 1, 2, 3, and then let the tails come all the way to the end of your loop. That way it just fills the bundle. And it was pretty much like what we started with too. So as you can see, this one's got more green, this one's got more silver. So you will toggle them. This is the side that has more loops. This is the side that just has 3. This is the side that has more. This is the side that has less. So when you're tying them on, you're alternating so that you have a full bunch on your candy cane design. Always make sure you cut the tag off. And I'm going to show you how to go ahead and tie these on. So the process is really super easy. Can you guys see? Can they see everything here?
Yeah, I'll zoom in.
Okay, so you're going to just use the 2 middle frames on the candy cane form. You're going to forget the outer ones. As long as you make your bundles at least 3 inches, like where I was saying, it's basically a 3-inch loop, 2.5 if you count one. They all kind of vary a little bit. You'll kind of get into a groove of your own. So you're going to take these and you're going to go right just between the 2 middle frames, and then flip it over because it's easier to tie on the underside. And all you're going to do is twist and get it on there pretty firm. And then if you want to use your pipe cleaners for the styrofoam balls, take the ends, bring them through the middle, like on the top and the bottom. That way they're already there. And then just push this down to the edge of your frame. And then you're ready to go ahead and tie your next one on. And usually what I do is I alternate. Like I would probably use white on the ones that have double the silver, and then green on the ones that have double the green. That way I know which ones I'm picking automatically. This is the one that has the single, so I'm going to go ahead and put a double. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, Debbie asked, I think I missed something. Did I understand correctly? 10 bags of Deco mesh tubing per candy cane? Yes.
Yes. Because
these are only the Dollar Tree bags.
Yes. So, and we just built that one. So if you want it that full, that took 10 bags of Dollar Tree Deco mesh. And like I said, depending upon how much, what your groove is when you do your bundles, you might do them a little bit longer on one. You might do not so long on the other.
So you might only use 9 bags, or you might use 11, depending upon how much you use.
Yeah, it's usually good just to get, what did we do? I always recommend get 12. And then that way, if you want them thicker, if you want them more curly, you just have to watch it because you don't want to lose the loop in the middle. So if you start making your loops too big, right here in the middle, you're going to have these loops touch these ones, and then you won't see the arc of the candy cane. It'll just look like, I don't know, like a shepherd's staff almost, right, but without the loop.
So if you're doing 2 different colors, obviously you'd want 5 or 6 bags of each color.
Yeah, well, or depending upon what you want. If you want to put in all the Christmas colors, if you just want to do one in metallics, which I think would be really pretty, silvers. I think last year, because they don't make white Dollar Tree does not make white. They make the silver and the gold. I used red and silver to kind of simulate a candy cane looking candy cane. And so this is what you end up getting. So you'll have your long pipe cleaners and you just keep adding to each section, always building from the bottom because it's just easier to tie them. And I'll tell you how many fit in each section just for the Dollar Tree mesh tubing, because this one, they're thicker. So starting from the bottom, you will need, see I just color coded mine, the green and red. So the ones that had double the green were green and the ones that had double the red were red. Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did 7 in the very bottom section. So meaning from here to here, 7 bundles. From the next section up, and we're just going to count them. So this is 1, this will be section 2. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in this little section because it is a little bit smaller. Then when you go up to the third section, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 in the third section. Don't count this, this is where my bow is. The fourth section is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then as we start to go around the candy cane curve, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We actually have 8 in this section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did 7 on this one. And then the final section toward the end is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7, what do we say?
5, I think.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, okay.
So 7, 8, 8, 6, 6, 6, and then I think it was 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Yep. And that will tell you how many bundles you need. So do you want to do the math real quick?
You got 7 and then you said 8.
7,
Yeah.
8,
15,
8,
23,
6,
29,
6,
35,
6,
41,
and 7.
48.
So you need 48 bundles if you want it to look like this. And you can...
Thanks for the math test.
Thank you. Thank you for doing the math for me.
And Scott's on. Looks like Scott Waterman's on. So hey, Scott.
Hi, thanks for joining.
Hi, Melody. Hi, Gail. Hi, all.
So you need 48 bundles if you want to make it that way. Now, if you don't want to incorporate putting the little glitter balls on, it's really simple. When you get to the bottom, just like this, once you tie your bundles on, you'll just do your 5 twist ties, and then you go ahead and snip it off your frame, and then you'll just take your what's left of your pipe cleaner and just push it down to lay flat just underneath the frame. This way there's nothing on the bottom of the actual wreath frame to scratch the door, to scratch the customer. So it's just a little nub that's going to go right underneath the frame. And I usually toggle them, put one on one side, one on the other side, and then you would just keep going until you built your entire candy cane form. Any questions on the Dollar Tree? With this one, if you keep it to 10 bags, like I said, 48 bundles, $10 for the actual Deco mesh tubing, and then your frame is going to be another $1. Whatever your pipe cleaners are, I mean, you can get those at Dollar Tree too. You can get them in the metallic colors. And then, what else? Glitter balls. So you can get those. Dollar Tree started selling those now too. So you can really keep this like about under, I would say under $15. And then you can make these for your craft shows that are probably going to be starting to come up fairly quickly. I would price these at about $35 and up, depends on your materials cost. So if you're using all Deco mesh tubing from Dollar Tree, $35, $40. If you're adding your glitter balls, if you're adding, you know, some high-end ribbon, high-end Deco mesh tubing, then you're gonna have to price it accordingly so that you get that back. So any questions on this? And then we're gonna go ahead and start, and we'll finish this one on our live.
Julia just said I went to Dollar Tree the other day and they actually had some mesh and candy cane wreath forms. She was excited. So yeah.
Yes. And keep in mind that you guys can order these online from Dollar Tree. Let me give you the SKU number. Let me find my SKU. Hold on. It is.
Denise said you're using 2 different colors of pipe cleaners, so she just does that for kind of color coordination for the glitter balls.
Make sure that I'm giving you the right number. Okay, because this one just said metal wreath form. So the item number, if you want to look at the item number on Dollar Tree's website, you can order these by the case. You can either have them delivered to the store for pickup, or if you don't have a Dollar Tree close and you're able to ship directly to home, here's your item number. It's 243648. That's the candy cane Dollar Tree form. The mesh. I can give you the item number. Sadly, though, all of the item numbers are the same. So if you want gold or green or silver or red, you're going to get 3 of each in the box. So you only have one item number, which was 227076. And that goes on they're all the same. So those of you in my private group that look at the materials list and go, well, she gave us the same item number for the green as the red as the silver. It's because in Dollar Tree's world, you get an assortment box. And so all the Deco Mesh colors are exactly the same. Okay, we're done with that one, right? Okay, so now we're gonna finish the one I didn't have time to finish. And like I said, because I wanted the actual stripes, I just kind of figured that you had to, number one, find a true white. That's why we went with the Snowdrift Mesh. This one's a little bit different. So number one, when you're creating the bundles, you're not creating bundles of 3. So I'm not sitting here with 3 red or 3 white. We're doing single. So you are actually creating that whole bundle. So you're going to do it in 10 loops. So you're going to start with your 2-inch tail. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, if there was 10, and then the loop. So you'd have 5 on one side and 5 on the other. This one's like a 5 and a 4. Actually, let me cheat here and go. Here's the 10, and then my tail, just like this. And this will actually work if you come up short. Let me get my grid. And then you're going to do the same for the white. So when you stack them, you're stacking 2 red and then 2 white and then 2 red and then 2 white. So you want a lot of loops, a lot of thickness, a lot of fullness. I really want it round and fluffy. So when you're doing the white, let me make sure I'm pulling my white through. You're going to do the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a long little tail. Remember, we leave the tails as long as the loops. And then we're going to go ahead and put our pipe cleaner on this. So I think I have enough. Let's hope I have enough. I really hate to run short again. I think I'm good though.
Okay, so she said, you said 10 bags of mesh. Is that 3 of each color or 10 of each color? No, so it's 10 bags.
5 and 5.
10 bags total, right. So if you're doing 2 colors, it's 5 and 5.
Yeah, so we just did the red and green, so it's 5 green, 5 red.
Right. If you're doing 3 different colors, it'll be close to 3, 3, 3, and 3. So.
Yeah, and that's why I said whatever color combination you want to do, you'll need a grand total of 10 bags. So if you were going to do a tricolor like silver, red, and green, get 12 bags because you're going to need 10. At some point, one of those is going to come up short and you'll dip into that bag to finish out like maybe the next 1 or 2 bundles, and then you should be complete. It's just going to depend on you and what you decide, you know, is going to be your color combination to make. Any other questions?
Nope.
Okay, So this one's a little bit different. This one I chose not to add the long pipe cleaner, so I'm going to, once I tie this on, I'm going to snip it, and then I'm going to take the ends of my pipe cleaners that are left and kind of tuck those to the side. So as you can see, I've color coded these just because it looks pretty. In the first section, I did 2 red, 2 white, 2 red, 2 white, so there's a total of 8 in this section. And remember, there's 5 loops on each side of these bundles, so I don't have to worry about, well, one side's thinner than the other. I just have to remember red and white. The next set going up, let me find it, 2 red, 2 white, 2 red, 2 white, so there's another 8. And then we're doing 2 red, 2 white, 2 red to finish this short little section. And then I started, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going on the 4th section. So far I have the 2 white, and then now I'm going to go through and tie on my reds. And like I said, I always build the whole thing upside down, because then this way you can see that you have everything centered on your wreath frame. And I'll just twist that on 5 times, snip off my excess, and then I'm going to take it and tuck it underneath the frame. And so I need 2 red stacked on top of each other to kind of give that illusion of the bigger, broader striped candy. And then we'll add a bow once we finish. And you can finish these, if you have someone helping you make the bundles, you can finish this in, what, like 45 minutes, maybe?
Yeah.
It just takes you a while to tie them on.
Renee said your craft room is looking amazing.
Did you guys see the revisions?
And
it's crazy.
Debbie asked how long are the loops? They're about 2 to 3 inches, right?
Yeah, these are still the same.
Yeah.
It's just, this is a thicker diameter of the Deco mesh tubing, so it's a little, like I could probably take the Dollar Tree and put it inside the red and the white, especially the white. This is the older red that I'm using.
Oh, so and since she's doing thicker on this red and white one, she's doing 10 loops per color. So
yep.
The other one we did, well, the other one we did 3 loops per bundle, but this one you're doing 10 loops per color. So
yeah, it's a little different. So it's just looking at what did you want it to look like. And so when we first came up with the idea for this one, it was, wow, that'd be a really shame. That would be kind of cool if we could figure out a way to make a true candy cane out of the loops. And then I had leftover snowdrift mesh that I did not use last year. And I thought for sure I would have more than enough because it came from a bigger vendor. So, and let me show you what it looks like on the other side. So you're just going to kind of take them and you're going to fluff them because of course you're laying them flat. So here we are on this section. I'm going to go ahead and move into this one. This is that short little section before we move to the corner. So this one has 6. So we're going to go ahead and start here with our red. Again, upside down building. And then
Denise asked, where did you get the white tubing?
I believe I bought this from Craft Outlet. So I know it has to come from one of the bigger places that sell, you can't get it from Hobby Lobby, Joann's, or Michael's. You're going to have to get it online. And I want to say it's right around $11. And you don't get that much, so you have to buy 2 of them. And then you always want to make sure you keep your loops on the to the top of the frame.
Judy asked, do the loop wreaths sell very well? Yeah, they do pretty well because they're a lower price point.
Lower price point, and they still look amazing. Like when we made these last year, I think we started making them for the fall. So we made a fall one. So if you get your fall sign from Dollar Tree as well, and top that off with, you know, Dollar Tree ribbon, you can keep your costs way down, which makes it really nice if you're going to be taking them to craft shows and you don't have to worry about shipping. Because once you start factoring shipping in, then you have to factor in boxes and, you know, how much is shipping going to be to ship this item wherever it's going to go.
Right. And obviously this one you would have to sell more because the white Deco mesh tubing is expensive.
Yeah. So we're just doing 2 red, 2 white, and then we're just tucking those little ends underneath. And I just keep stacking them, so I just keep pushing them forward to make sure that it is full.
And I'll check. I think she's got enough made to do the rest of it, but I'll ask her. She said, can you show how to make the bow again? I just got her, or this section.
The loops? Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I think I have to, make one more of each, so I'll show you how to do that. And they're super easy to do. You just have to get into a groove of what works for you. For me, keeping my loops right at about 2 or 3 inches is just like what I naturally will automatically stick Deco mesh tubing into. So I've done my 2 white.
Thank you, Sharon. She said, I love this idea. Another great way to do a candy cane wreath.
This is really cool for like kids to do, because as long as they can twist the twist ties on, you know, you can be making the bundles and they could be twisting them on to the wreath form, because no glue is required. It's just pipe cleaners.
Thank you, Katrina. She said, love, love, love it.
Thank you. We're on to the red.
Thank you, Melody. She said, Kat, I wish I had just half of your talent.
You do. You really do. It's just practice. Practice, practice, practice. That's why we wanted to kind of keep things tonight just a little bit on the simple side. I promise next Friday we will go and do the full-blown evergreen with lights and pretty much everything you can possibly think of to stick in a wreath. We will be putting it into a Christmas evergreen. So I'm going to...
Gloria, she said, is that the large tubing in white?
Yes.
Yes.
It's actually called Snowdrift. Mesh tubing or flex tubing. It depends on what site you're on. And I don't have the item number handy right off the top. So I'm trying to get like 8 in here, but it's getting really tight.
Ann said, this is the best use of this form I've seen. Thank you, Ann. And then Judy says, do you always tie them into the middle rails? Yes, you tie them between the middle 2 rails. Yeah,
because watch, when I flip this over, I'll show you. There's no point in putting it on the outside because your tubing is, you know, you're doing 3-inch loops. So that's what you're getting from where you're tying it to the middle to the outside. So it's covering the edge, and I'll show you what it looks like. I'm going to cut this off and tuck that down. So we're back here, and if you look, it's covering all the way through, and it's because I decided to add more loops to this than like this one. This one's a little bit more on the thinner side. Here I'm going a little bit fat, and you can see just in this section, I mean, I really crammed 8 in there. I probably could have like not gone as heavy, because as I get into this section, you can see that it's already well into more than half of what I have here, but I want it to be thick and fluffy. So flipping it back over, we're going to go into the second to the last section. And remember, I'm tying on 2. So if you want those definitive lines of color, like you're going to do red, then white and green, which would be super pretty, just remember you're going to need twice as much white.
And Jean, yes, she's doing 2 color bundles at a time. So 2 red, then 2 white, and 2 red.
Yes, to get the banding that you want. So I have these done. Okay. So I think on this one, probably only going to get 6, just because it's already so tight.
Thank you, gals, for welcoming us all back. Appreciate it. We missed you all. Thank you for all the prayers and well wishes.
Yes, we definitely appreciate that. Okay, so I'm in 2 red. Then we're going to do 2 white. And then we're probably just going to do 2 red. And remember, if you want to leave your pipe cleaners a little long, so that you can utilize them for, I don't know, you could put, Hobby Lobby has a peppermint, it's like a crushed peppermint styrofoam ball, but sometimes the crushed peppermint look kind of comes off a little pink instead of like red and white peppermint. But you could use that on here. You could put your glitter balls on.
Awesome, Maureen. She said I made several of these last year. So easy to do. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, just make all your bundles and sit in front of the TV and you can either be making bundles or tying them on. Okay, we're flipping over to our red. And then remember, the goal is to not lose that arc. That's the tough part. And that's why you don't want to make your loops too big. Snip.
Kathy asks, how many packages of the snowdrift tubing would you use?
You need 2. So that's why I was only able to get as far as I did. I ran out of the snowdrift tubing because you're buying it in a larger quantity, and I thought for sure I would have enough because it's so thick and fluffy, but no. I did not. And then sadly I had to put it away because when I went to price or order more snowdrift mesh, they were completely out of stock.
The candy cane frames are from Dollar Tree, so obviously they're only $1. Mm-hmm. You can order a case of them online. Is it still coming 24 or how many does it come in?
Don't know. I think 24 is what I would think. It's weird how Dollar Tree doesn't, it's not, I guess it's an even quantity, but so I'm in my last section now. So I'm going to add my 2 white, flipping that under. I'm going to add 2 red. Like this. It's getting awful fluffy. And it'll be complete. It's not going to sit in incomplete status anymore. So 1. So yeah, I will need to make 1 more white. So I'll show you what this looks like. I'm going to really try hard to pack. So I did 8 in the first loop as I was going up, and then because we had that overly thick one at the top, I just put 6 in the second part of our candy cane. And then we are going to...
Beverly, the red is not a snowdrift. It's just a standard deep
It's just tinsel.
Red tubing. Yep.
Yeah, it's just a regular Deco mesh tubing. They have really nice tinsel, but just be careful because you could wind up where I did, where you have to purchase 2 packages of it, and then if they're $11 a pop, that's like 44 bucks.
Yeah.
Just for material. So it starts to be, I mean, if you're making it for yourself, you know, go all out, if that's what you want. If you're trying to recover the cost, though, it's going to be kind of tough. Because some people just don't see value in what we do. And how expensive some stuff is. But I just like the way the snowdrift looks. So I'm going to tie on. And I'll show you how to make the loops because I came up. There's this one. I need 1 more. So to make the loop again, get rid of all my pipe cleaners.
So like Anne was the one who asked for it. So Anne, she's about to make the loop again.
Yeah, because I was thinking, wow, I'm going to come up short. So you start with about a 2-inch tail, and you're just going to count off 10 loops. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then you leave your tail as long as your loops are.
The loops are about 3-inch loops.
Yeah. So, and 3 inches from from the tip of the loop to where I'm pinching it. Right. Not like an 1.5 inch loop. And then I just kind of color coordinated my pipe cleaners. And then you're just going to tie them on. So I'm trying to finish. I started with red, so it looks like we're going to end with white, which is okay. And then this would have gotten 6 in this section, the last section. Just like that. Making sure all your loops aren't in the middle. So when you're going around your rail, you're looking that there should not be any loops in here at all. They should all be to the outside. So then you want to go ahead and pull and fluff so that this is kind of creating those individual bands in between the white and then the red. And then, like any great groomer.
Oh, that's awesome. Judy, thank you. She said Craft Outlet has the snowdrift for $5.95.
What? Okay, then that makes it really affordable.
So I know Kat will be going online.
Like Kat doesn't need to be going online because Kat has way too much stuff in that craft room. So what I do, and I even did it on this one, is sometimes you'll get a tail that's sticking out a little bit further than you want to. So if you have long tails, just go through and trim off anything that, because you don't want to see like the end of the tail sticking out. Just go ahead and snip the ones that are a little bit longer. And this is what, I'm just making sure the one on the end is kind of, you kind of want to, at the end, kind of squish them so that they kind of gather together.
So this red, you said Dollar Tree went back to the same quality red. So this red is from Dollar Tree, right?
Yes, this is Dollar Tree. Yeah, unlike the one that we were playing with earlier today where it's very, very thin. That was left over from Patriotic.
But it was still Dollar Tree, but it wasn't as good. So yeah,
right. So, and you can go online. Like I said, there's really nice tinsel mesh that's similar to the ones that we've been using in Halloween that actually have like the little tinsel to them. Mm-hmm. And you can add that to your candy cane and kind of create that little, I guess it would be the fluffy part of the white. And this is all that I have left of the white. Yeah.
Sherry asked, how many of each package do you use for this one? So it's 2, you use 2 packages?
Yeah, 2 packages of the white. And then I think it was either 3 or 4 packages of the red. Because remember, I'm making bigger loop bundles.
Right.
And it's just all red loops. So I would make sure that you had at least 5. Is that what I said? 3?
You said
3 or 4.
3, yeah.
Yeah. Just make sure you have more than enough. You'll kind of get a sense of like how far you can go. Like this was 10. So you can kind of see that our thickness it's kind of a little on the thinner side. I can't really show you because this is the fatter one.
Right.
But let's see. Here's the silver one. You can kind of see, I don't know if you guys can see the thickness. It's almost double the diameter. And then when you hold it up to the white's almost double
the red. Yeah.
the red. So you're really making them super thick.
Right.
And that's how you want them super fluffy. And so that's what you get when you finish. That's what you get on the back side, which still looks pretty.
Yeah, it looks really clean.
So now we just need to put a nice bow on it. So I figured since we're kind of going with a candy cane theme, we will kind of go with a peppermint bow. And we're not going to overly complicate it because you don't want your bow to be so super big that it kind of makes your candy cane look small. So we want to kind of gauge our size, and I'm going to use this, what do you call it, red and white diagonal. And so kind of what I'll do is I'll look at my tail and figure out about how long I want my tail to hang down from where my my bow is, and I generally start my bows in here. So somewhere here, and then look at how far down do you want your tails to hang down. I think 10 inches was about the longest that will go. So we'll dovetail the ends. So that's just taking your wired edges together, and you cut from the fold to the tip. And I'm just going to use my Bodabra to hold it and to make sure that both sides of my ribbon loops are the same. So 10 inches for the tail. And
Melody, absolutely, you can do this on a round Dollar Tree wreath frame as well and just make it all out of Deco mesh tubing.
oh yeah, we did that last year. We did the fall loop one, just with like the orange, the brown, the red, and the green. And you can definitely do that just on the 14 inch.
I think Kat has another video on YouTube that she did last year where she took the same candy cane form and just did a ribbon tree. You did it with ribbon, right? You used like 5-inch ribbon, you tripled it up.
I think it's in the private group.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's okay. I think. I don't know. But yeah, we'll be showing you how to make one just out of regular ribbon, which if you go to Costco or Sam's, you get quite the deal on the 50-yard ribbon rolls for $6.99, $7.99, $7.49. So I did 5-inch loops. So I'm trying to keep the red and white kind of candy cane thing going. So we'll do the candy canes. You could even come in with little confections. I think, who has it? Hobby Lobby used to sell the little peppermints, the sticks, and the little rounds, like the plastic ones, or that were made out of styrofoam. You can embed one of that in the bow. That would be really cute. I'd have to go dig in one of my embellishment bins.
Also gives you gals who are new here to an excuse to go join Kat's private group.
You can. The Angel Tree Chopper alone is amazing. So we're going to be doing different variations on the Angel Tree Chopper as well for 2020. So the first loop is 5 inches. This one is, we're going to go 4.5. I'm just going to try to keep this to a 3 bow.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think Kat meant, I think they answered that a couple of videos ago.
What's that?
Do you have to be a member of Sam's to get the ribbon? I think you could go one time, right?
A lot of times they'll give you a visitor's pass just to go the first time. Like,
right.
You can just say, I just want to see if it's, worth the membership fee. But I think, I'm trying to think of what Sam's Club, it's $45 or $55 for the year. And then just be careful because a lot of these are auto renewal. So if you didn't want to join for more than a year, you might miss it and it just auto renews again.
Yep.
And then we're going to take this one. Trying to think. Sam's Club, Craft Outlet, and this one came from Gordon's, which
Gordon.
Was...
Oh, that's the one that Christina bought for you? Okay.
Yeah, there was a ribbon wholesaler, kind of like Sims, and I had Christina. She was nice enough to do a virtual shopping spree for me. So she FaceTimed me and showed me what their shop had. And so this was my leftover Gordon's ribbon. So each consecutive ribbon that I've used, starting with 10, I'm taking it an inch down each time. So then the peppermint candy was 9, and then the red and white is 8. And then the same thing with the loops. We started with 5, then it goes 4.5, and then this is going to 4. Once I can measure 4.
Simone said the Costco ribbon is out now, but they're pretty much the same from last year. She said she had most of them.
That's why I'm kind of glad. I think I'd be really... It would be hard for me not to want to go shopping if they had changed the ribbon. Yeah. So knowing it's the same, I'm like, whoosh, dodge the bullet. So we will pipe cleaner this and tie it on to our, let's do red. do this.
Thanks, Jean. So Jean, membership to Sam is $45.
Okay.
And then Jean also said Sam doesn't have a one-day pass anymore.
You don't?
No, but you could. I mean, if you want to go and purchase a membership, I'm sure they would let you in and let you shop and then get your membership.
You have to pay for the membership first.
Yeah.
And then you get to go shop. And then, sadly, like we did the first time, I think we jumped the gun and went early and they didn't have their ribbon out yet.
Yeah.
So this I'm actually going to fluff on the candy cane itself just because it's a simple bow. So I just have 3 different colors. And because we know we can access the frame fairly easy because we're just going to take our pipe cleaner and go right to the middle because it's super simple to find it. Do the same on the other side. And I'm going to kind of flip this so my tails, how I had my tails set. Don't pull it all the way to the frame though. Because if you pull it all the way to the frame, you're going to lose that in your flex tubing. And then from here, you're just going to fluff. So let's just take this one down and we'll fluff it on the door. So it looks a little easier.
Kathy, yeah, I saw your question. I was just about to tell Kathy about it here a little bit.
What's that?
It looks like there's 2 different sizes. So she said, so is it jumbo snowdrift or regular? Craft Outlet has 2 different ones. The jumbo is $7.25. She doesn't know, it's been a while, but it's probably the jumbo one.
I don't know.
You'd have to see how many yards it comes in and what size it is.
Message me and I'll, like I said, I don't have the package with the label. I have it in my craft room and then I will tell you which one it is. So all I'm doing is taking my ribbon and fluffing it, obviously making sure this would be green and silver. Just kind of pulling them all apart. Obviously I want my tails to hang down, but I don't want, 2 peppermints at the top, so I'm alternating how I want my bow shaped. So just a super simple bow. And like I said, you can come in here and add a little peppermint stick. You can add a, what do they call it? Like a peppermint sucker pick to the center.
Yeah.
And then you're done. Ta-da!
Yeah.
Super simple. So Loopy Wreaths done 2 ways. So that's just done with more loops so you can see the color separation. And then if you just kind of want to make it all loopy and then add your glitter balls to it, you're kind of good.
Yeah.
And then you're all done. Is there any questions I can answer for you before we leave? And I haven't yet thought of what we're making in the private group on Sunday yet. I hadn't thought that far ahead. Something Christmassy.
So text Kathy. She said 10 yards for the jumbo, I think. So.
See, and then that's crazy because each of these are 12 yards.
Yeah.
So you're not getting an awful lot for $5.95. So you just kind of, that's why if you're going for a thicker diameter, you'll be able to use a little bit less. Like this goes a long way as far as spacing than this does. So that's the downside, is I used 10 bags of 12 yard Deco mesh tubing to make the red and green one.
Right.
So,
okay.
Any questions you guys have that I can answer for you?
That's it.
Other than that, next Friday, I'll show you guys how to take a standard artificial evergreen that you can buy from Hobby Lobby. And I want to say the price used to be $9.99 and it seems like they upped the price now. It's $11.99. But you get them for 40% off, and we're going to show you how to take that and make it better than just your standard evergreen, make it look like a true Christmas wreath. So that's about it. Other than that, thank you guys for joining me. Thanks for coming and helping me learn how to make more of the Loopy Candy Cane Wreath. I hope that this becomes another tutorial that you really enjoy and it's easy to do and easy to use. and I will talk to you soon. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.